2005, Swedish researchers found that when straight men smelled a female urine compound, their hypothalamus lit up in brain images. In gay men, it did not. Instead, homosexual men's hypothalamus lit up when they smelled a male sweat compound, which was the same way straight women responded. Scientists believe that this will lead to the possibility of finding out a child's sexuality the day of birth.
Do you have friends or family who are part of the LGBTQ community?
No, I don't.
In your opinion, are homosexuals treated fairly or unfairly in your community, and explain why or why not?
I think the majority are treated fairly because we have many here and they do hang their flags out. I do think there are some that are treated unfairly, but not as many, and that's really just because we're in an old school type of moral community.
How do you feel about homosexuality in general, and explain your reasoning?
I'm not so much for it, and I'm not so much against it. I'm kind of in between with that. I'm a firm believer that, two people that love each other should be together, but on the same token, I really don't prefer to see two of the same sex together, behind closed doors. So I'm 50-50. I'm not against or for.
Okay. Do you support gay rights? Why or why not?
I do support gay rights. I think, everybody's the same as far as that goes. Again, from the way I was brought up, though, the marriage part of it, I'm still, not 100% with that, but I think they should have equal rights as everybody else. They're human.
Do you have friends or family who are part of the LGBTQ community?
Yes.
And how involved are you with this community?
Not really involved.
In your opinion, are homosexuals treated fairly or unfairly? Why or why not?
They are definitely not treated fairly. I think there's discrimination within. I think there's discrimination with gay men, and then I think there's discrimination against lesbians. Sexual preference is not an issue for me. I have two gay brothers, so I have always grown up with being in a gay atmosphere. To me, it's not an issue. The person speaks to them about themselves, it's not their sexuality that speaks. If somebody's going to be wonderful, they're wonderful. If they're going to be an asshole, they're an asshole.
Do you support gay rights? Why or why not?
Yeah, I support gay rights. People wouldn't give two men a mortgage who were together. And I recognize the fact that they were a couple and they wouldn't do it, the loans. And I told other banking institutions that if you don't do their loan, the people in charge, that it would be discrimination.
How often do you use sayings such as "that's so gay," "homo," or "fag," etc.? Stuff like that.
I do say those words, but I say them I can say those to my gay brothers because it's a joke. They know it's a joke, but I don't do that to somebody I don't know. My brother does not like it. Does not like the word fag. None of them like the word fag. However, they use the word that I am a hag fag, which means I love gay guys. I'm a hag fag. I've been called that for years. So I do use that lingo, but I only use it with gay people who I know, and they know it's a joke because they do the same thing. They do it among the group. I don't do that to people I don't know because I know it's an insult. I've actually stopped the younger generation from saying it's so gay.
How long have you lived in the Margaretville community?
My whole life.
Do you have friends or family who are part of the LGBT community?
No.
How involved are you with this community, if at all?
Not.
In your opinion, are homosexuals treated fairly or unfairly, and why or why not?
That's a hard question. They're treated fairly for their own gender, I guess.
How do you feel about homosexuality in general, and explain?
I think it goes against my grain. I think it's immoral. And again, it goes to my religion because in the Bible it says God created man and woman. God created Adam, and he created Eve so Adam would have a partner and they could reproduce. Woman on woman cannot reproduce. Man on man cannot reproduce. You need a man and a woman to reproduce.
Do you support gay rights? Why or why not?
I do not, because I don't believe in gays.
How often do you use the sayings such as, quote, that's so gay, quote, homo, quote, fag? And if you do, why do you think you use those terms?
I try not to. They are what they are, and I am who I am, but I don't approve of it, and I try to avoid them as much as I can.
Identified as gay.
3 years.
Do you feel accepted in your community? If so, why?
For the most part, yes. I've determined a spot of kind of authority more than no one really messes with me, so there's no chance of people kind of picking on me for my sexuality.
Have you ever been prejudiced against due to your sexuality? If so, could you explain that experience and how it made you feel?
When I first came out, somebody told me that I couldn't be gay because I had lost my virginity to a female. So they started a bunch of rumors around saying I can't be gay and like kind of shunning my sexuality and why I should not identify as that. But how it made me feel, I mean, then it felt I was hurt, but now when I think back at it, it's kind of stupid.
Has anyone ever defended you during an insult directed towards your sexuality, and how often has this happened, if at all?
It's not a frequent thing, but mostly teachers, when they hear it, they do most of the time stand up to anyone that's saying anything.
How long have you identified as gay?
Since like 7th grade.
Do you feel accepted in your community?
Yes,
Okay, why?
because I surround myself with people that are of higher education, so I don't deal with too much nonsense.
Have you ever been prejudiced against due to your sexuality?
Yes.
Could you explain an experience and how that made you feel?
I would say like high school, in like gym class, changing in the locker rooms, there would always be like snide comments and things like that.
What did they say?
Rough. Change fast or something along those lines, like, do I know I'm looking at you or something else.
Has anyone ever defended you during an insult directed towards your sexuality?
I don't think so. I'm pretty much take no nonsense person, so I defend myself in situations like that.
How long have you identified as gay?
Since the 80s.
Do you feel that you are accepted in this community?
Yes.
And why?
I moved here in 91 and never experienced any homophobia. I don't go around advertising my orientation. I don't think that's necessary for anyone. But I've always been accepted here.
Okay. Have you ever been prejudiced against due to your sexuality?
No.
Has anyone ever defended you during an insult directed towards your sexuality?
No, I've never had any.